Michelle Reyes was flying over New York City with her daughter, but what Michelle did not expect to see was a cylinder-shaped object zipping across her line of sight near LaGuardia Airport.
There is some of the most compelling evidence for extraterrestrial life has been captured on ordinary cameras by everyday people. From military jets chasing mysterious spheres to entire fleets of spacecraft appearing over major cities, these 20 cases represent the most credible UFO footage ever recorded. Let's dive into. In Vinton County, Ohio, a biker named Rafael Torres witnessed one of the most thrilling and baffling sights of his life. That day, he suddenly noticed a strange black object flying through the air, a perfect sphere moving smoothly as it passed right over him and continued ahead. But something even more shocking followed moments later. 2 military jets were chasing it. In that instant, Rafael became convinced the sphere was something mysterious and possibly dangerous, something the military itself wanted to catch. The fact that 2 fighter jets were in active pursuit suggests this object was either a serious security threat or something completely unknown to the military. The sphere's flawless geometric shape and steady movement ruled out conventional explanations such as debris or natural phenomena. A mysterious object spotted in the skies over New York City has been classified as another unidentified flying object. Michelle Reyes, a passenger aboard a commercial flight, reported seeing a strange object from her window near New York's LaGuardia Airport. She claimed to have witnessed a flying cylinder and posted a video of it online. Reyes said she contacted the Federal Aviation Administration to determine whether it posed a safety threat, but she has yet to receive a response. Thomas Wertman, the Mutual UFO Network state director in Ohio, reviewed the video and offered his insights. He observed that the dark object appeared to be traveling at an altitude of roughly 2,500 feet and was close to the plane as it approached the airport for landing. Drones are not legally permitted to fly at that altitude. Was it a bird or a UFO? Mr. Wertman, who has spent years investigating reports of unidentified aerial phenomena, suggested the object could pose a potential hazard. He noted that the object did not resemble a conventional aircraft because it lacked wings and a tail. According to him, the plane Reyes was aboard was about 15 minutes from LaGuardia Airport and likely flying at approximately 230 miles per hour when the video was recorded. Last year, a farmer named Jorge Mendoza was inspecting his crops in a field near Yumbo, Colombia, when he saw something shocking, a metallic sphere hovering silently in the sky. The object moved deliberately, almost as if it were surveying the land below. Mendoza wasn't sure what he was looking at. For a moment, he thought it might be some kind of experimental device. After all, Yumbo, known as an industrial hub, was only a few miles away. But no company would ever allow a secret prototype to roam freely like that. What makes this sighting particularly unusual is the object's deliberate movement pattern, which sets it apart from typical misidentifications. Weather balloons drift with air currents, while aircraft follow predictable flight paths. This object appeared to demonstrate controlled, purposeful movement, suggesting some form of intelligence behind its operation. Do you believe the metallic sphere Jorge Mendoza saw was being controlled by some form of intelligence? Let me know if you think yes, like me. On December 17, 2022, a property surveyor was flying his drone over an abandoned area in Porterville, California, to examine the site for reconstruction. That's when he recorded more than he expected. A mysterious black sphere appeared in the sky, hovering with remarkable precision as it moved slowly above the area. After some time, it descended and seemed to glide along the streets below. The man kept his drone focused on the strange object, but eventually lost sight of it. He was convinced that whatever he had captured was not of this world. The precision of the sphere's movements, captured from multiple angles by the drone, provided some of the clearest footage of unexplained aerial phenomena. Its ability to hover motionlessly before executing controlled movements at low altitude challenges conventional explanations. On November 1, 2013, residents of Houston, Texas reportedly woke around 1 a.m. after seeing sudden flashes of light outside their windows. Expecting thunder, they were instead met with the sight of a strange aerial object. The craft displayed bright, flashing lights and appeared to spin while hovering in place. Witnesses claimed that police gathered below, treating the incident as a possible emergency, though they were unable to intervene. Moments later, the object allegedly emitted a strong beam of light downward, as if targeting the ground. The supposed involvement of law enforcement adds perceived credibility to the report. Police officers are trained observers, and their presence suggests this was not easily dismissed as a simple misidentification. The downward directed beam of light is also a recurring feature in UFO reports worldwide, suggesting either a shared visual phenomenon or a consistent pattern in witness descriptions. And before we continue unfolding this fascinating discovery, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. No one knows where this mysterious craft came from. The incident reportedly occurred on June 25, 2017, in Ixtapaluca, Mexico. A video from that evening shows a large, dark metallic disc with a ring around it, spinning in place high above the city. Witnesses said it emerged from the clouds around 6 p.m., then descended to hover over the area. After remaining there for nearly 30 minutes, the object rose back into the sky and disappeared. What makes this reported sighting particularly intriguing is its extended duration. 30 minutes is an unusually long time for any known aircraft to hover motionless over a populated area. The metallic disc's ringed structure also aligns with classic UFO descriptions dating back decades, suggesting either a recurring technological design or a consistent pattern in human perception of unexplained aerial phenomena. Reports from multiple witnesses observing the same object from different vantage points further add to the account's perceived credibility. On February 26, 2022, residents of Guatemala reported hearing a strange thundering sound from the sky. Moments later, 3 bright lights appeared seemingly out of nowhere. At first, observers assumed they were stars, but soon realized the lights were part of a single triangular craft. It wasn't moving through the air, it was hovering silently above the city. Many witnesses described an uncanny feeling that the mysterious craft was observing everything below, as if a higher intelligence were watching them. The object reportedly remained visible for much of the night before disappearing by morning. Although it did not reappear the next day, locals could not shake the sensation of being watched. The triangular formation of lights has become one of the most commonly reported UFO shapes in recent decades. What makes the Guatemala incident notable, however, is the psychological impact on witnesses. The shared sense of being observed is a recurring theme in UFO encounters, suggesting either a genuine interaction with non-human intelligence or a deep psychological response to witnessing something beyond current human understanding. A traveler on a flight to Greece recorded a video of a UFO flying near the airplane, creating one of the most discussed aviation sightings in recent years. Reyes, who filmed through his window, shared the footage online, where it went viral and drew millions of views and debate worldwide. Skeptics suggested the object might be a smoke trail from another aircraft, but aviation experts note that commercial planes follow strict altitude and separation rules, making such proximity unlikely. The object in the video maintained a consistent shape and steady position relative to Reyes' plane, unlike dissipating exhaust trails. The encounter, reportedly around 30,000 feet, highlights how unexplained aerial phenomena can unsettle passengers and crew. The sighting has fueled broader discussions about unidentified objects in controlled airspace, moving the conversation from niche communities into mainstream media and scientific inquiry. This may be one of the most astonishing UFO sightings ever reported. In 2009, a group of tourists visiting the Southern California desert claimed to witness not just one but an entire fleet of unidentified craft. At the center was a massive mothership, accompanied by 2 smaller objects that moved in perfect synchronization beside it. After a short time, the smaller craft appeared to dock with the larger one. As the witnesses watched in disbelief, the mothership reportedly emitted a brilliant light and vanished in an instant. The tourists captured the event on video, which they described as the most extraordinary thing they had ever seen. The coordinated movement of multiple objects suggests a level of organization and intelligence that surpasses any known natural or conventional explanation. The docking maneuver observed implies advanced control and possibly technology capable of mid-flight connection. This case stems from April 11, 2019, when passenger Lucas Kim was aboard a Jeju Air flight from Seoul, South Korea to Thailand. During the flight, he observed what first looked like another plane beside his aircraft. As he filmed, the object resolved into 6 separate glowing entities moving in formation, emitting a pulsating greenish-yellowish light. They maneuvered in a coordinated way, then split into pairs and vanished suddenly, a behavior not typical of any known aircraft or atmospheric phenomenon. Kim, a frequent flyer familiar with aircraft and weather patterns, insisted it wasn't a reflection, a bird, a drone, or a cloud. Skeptics have proposed reflection from the wing or optical illusion, but the synchronized movements and separation defy routine explanations. Classified as a UFO, meaning an unidentified flying object, The phenomenon raises questions about potentially experimental or unknown aerial technology beyond conventional aviation capabilities. Do you think the glowing objects seen by Lucas Kim were part of an advanced or unknown aerial technology? Let us know in the comments below. Footage from a Boeing 737 shows a small black object flying inches past a plane's wing at extreme speed, leaving a dark smoke trail. The incident is considered one of the most dangerous UFO encounters recorded, as the object came within striking distance of the aircraft. A Dutch passenger on a Ryanair flight from the Netherlands to Spain filmed the event unintentionally while recording the scenery. After about 4 minutes of routine footage, the object appeared, and the pilot abruptly banked the plane, causing loud engine noise and sudden movement. Passengers reported the aircraft shaking and performing sharp maneuvers typical of emergencies. The object's speed and trajectory were described as hostile, prompting immediate evasive action. Witnesses rejected the idea that it was a bird, citing flight characteristics beyond known wildlife or civilian aircraft. The footage remains unexplained and has fueled debate about whether the encounter involved advanced technology or an unidentified atmospheric phenomenon. During a routine flight from Brisbane to Melbourne, passenger Christine Emanuel, age 22, recorded a remarkable sight outside her window. About 45 minutes after takeoff, while the aircraft cruised at roughly 3,000 feet, she noticed a dark, sharply defined object hovering near the wing. At first, Emanuel thought it was a cloud, yet its straight edges and opaque surface made that explanation seem unlikely. She briefly tried to wake her partner, who was resting at the time, but he did not witness the event. According to Emanuel, the object remained visible for nearly 5 minutes before quietly fading from view, long enough for her to capture detailed footage. The video drew attention for showing a solid black form at high altitude, where most aircraft appear in lighter colors for visibility and thermal balance. Aviation observers have described such an occurrence as uncommon, particularly at cruising height under strict air traffic management. Some viewers proposed it could have been a shadow or atmospheric phenomenon, though Emanuel maintained that the object's distinct shape and steady motion set it apart. The airline has not issued an official comment, and no independent verification has yet been reported. A worker in Titusville, Florida, recorded a glowing object moving across the evening sky near Space Coast Regional Airport around 6:30 p.m. The round, flat disk glided silently and appeared to emit its own steady light. In his video description, the witness said he had seen the same phenomenon twice before at nearly the same hour and location, but only managed to film it this time. The repeated nature of these sightings gives the report an uncommon consistency. Observing the same object at regular intervals could indicate either a scheduled human activity or a patterned phenomenon exhibiting intelligent control. Because the area is close to Florida's aerospace testing and launch sites, some viewers suggested a technological link. Yet the disk's self-illumination and smooth flight did not match any known experimental aircraft, making this an unusual and ongoing case that continues to draw curiosity. In April 2017, a passenger traveling on a flight from Spain to Germany noticed something unusual outside her window. She saw a disc-shaped object hovering in the sky at cruising altitude. Surprised, she began recording immediately. The object appeared to move smoothly and deliberately, gliding away from the aircraft before disappearing into the distance. The witness later explained that she was startled because no ordinary object could remain suspended at such an altitude without visible propulsion. Her quick thinking and logical observations add credibility to her account. The controlled fluid motion she described suggests intentional flight rather than drifting debris or a weather-related occurrence. While the disc shape is a classic hallmark of UFO reports, its recurrence across different cultures and decades continues to intrigue researchers. While flying over London, a passenger recorded a disc-shaped object with lights on either side hovering above the clouds, drawing wide attention from UFO researchers and social media users. The sighting stood out because it occurred in one of the world's most tightly controlled airspaces, where radar monitoring and strict flight regulations make unidentified objects difficult to dismiss. Observers were divided. Some found the footage convincing due to the object's steady motion and symmetrical lighting, while others proposed digital editing, optical effects, or weather phenomena. None of those explanations, however, fully matched its structure or illumination. The area's proximity to defense and aerospace facilities also prompted speculation about advanced experimental aircraft. This event joins earlier UFO reports in North London, deepening public debate about unidentified aerial phenomena and the need for systematic investigation. Do you believe the disc-shaped object seen above London was an actual unidentified flying object rather than a digitally altered or natural phenomena? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. In 2016, a woman driving through Western England noticed something unusual in the sky. A large, silent, triangular object moving steadily above the countryside. It produced no sound at all, an unsettling detail, since man-made aircraft typically have engines, rotors, or visible wings. Unlike conventional planes, this craft appeared to be a solid triangle, with no cockpit or recognizable structure. After following it for nearly 20 minutes, she became uneasy and turned onto another road to get away. The complete absence of sound remains one of the most striking features of this sighting. All known aircraft generate noise from propulsion systems or air displacement, so such silence could suggest either advanced propulsion or flight at an unusually high altitude. Yet the witness's clear view of the object indicates it was relatively close. The triangular design without standard aerodynamic components challenges our current understanding of aircraft design and propulsion. The experience left a strong psychological impression on the witness, prompting her to alter her route after nearly 20 minutes of observation. Flight attendant Denisa Tanase, 36, employed by Wizz Air, reported an unusual sighting during a flight from Luton, England, to Szymany, Poland. While working on board, she filmed what first seemed like a window reflection, but, about 20 minutes later, noticed a circular pink flashing object moving independently outside the aircraft. Tanase, who had been in aviation for a year, said she had never seen anything similar. There was no turbulence, and neither she nor the captain observed the object directly. When she showed the video to the pilot, the crew was puzzled. The footage revealed a glowing pink disc, whose movement didn't match reflections or standard aircraft lights. Skeptics proposed it might have been light from her uniform, but she disagreed, noting its clear motion across the sky. A resident of Corby, Northamptonshire, Tanase said the incident changed her view of extraterrestrial life. The airline has issued no statement, and the sighting remains unverified. An airline passenger reported observing a shape-shifting flying object that traveled alongside his aircraft for about 7 minutes, allowing a clear view of its behavior. The white glowing object maintained pace with the plane, estimated to be flying between 10,000 and 30,000 feet at roughly 500 miles per hour. Witnesses said the object shifted from an aircraft-like form to a Y shape, displaying deliberate, controlled movement rather than random distortion. Some researchers of unexplained aerial phenomena speculated it could represent a plasma-based life form rather than a mechanical craft. The footage, posted on a UFO forum, sparked debate. Skeptics suggested it was a water droplet or light refraction, though such explanations don't account for the sustained observation or the object's synchronized motion with the jet. The event remains unexplained, continuing to inspire discussion about biological or advanced technological origins. Following NASA's 2022 announcement about studying unidentified anomalous phenomena, public interest in aerial sightings has grown sharply. Among the most discussed historical cases is Spain's Manises UFO incident of November 11th. During that flight, a TAE Super Caravelle carrying 109 passengers was forced to make an emergency landing after the crew observed red lights tracking the aircraft near Ibiza and continuing as it descended toward Valencia's Manises airport. The pilots carried out evasive maneuvers, and Spanish Air Force Mirage F-1 jets were scrambled, though the objects vanished shortly after appearing on radar. Claims about a prism-shaped alien craft with 150 witnesses lack credible evidence, yet the verified encounter remains one of Spain's most studied aviation mysteries. The trained crew's testimony, the object's anomalous flight behavior, and the military response have kept the case central to discussions of European UAP history. Pyramids have long inspired mystery, but what appeared above one in Egypt was even more puzzling. In 2012, a tourist reportedly filmed a bright object hovering above the Great Pyramid of Giza, emitting a focused beam of light directed onto the pyramid's apex. The video showed no people on the structure, suggesting the light targeted the monument itself rather than any individual. The location of this sighting adds particular intrigue, as Egypt's pyramids have been linked to speculative theories of ancient extraterrestrial contact for decades. The precision of the light beam implied deliberate control, resembling advanced technology capable of accurate energy projection. While skeptics regard the footage as likely digitally altered, it continues to spark discussion about possible links between modern unidentified aerial phenomena and ancient human architecture. Whether authentic or not, the video revived public fascination with the idea of extraterrestrial interest in Earth's oldest monuments. These 20 cases represent some of the most compelling visual evidence of unidentified flying objects ever captured. As technology continues to advance, and more people carry high-quality cameras, we can expect even more detailed documentation of these mysterious encounters. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. What if you could slip into a suit so lifelike that no one could tell it wasn't real skin? Japan's revolutionary human skin suit, made from silicone, has taken the world by storm, pushing the boundaries of technology and realism alongside other groundbreaking advances in the field of humanoid simulation. But what makes these suits so astonishing? In today's video, we will explore the world of top human skin suits used to bring unforgettable characters to life. Let's begin. On transforming identities, the American-Chinese company Ryanair has taken realism to a whole new level with its groundbreaking silicone suits. These suits allow users to dramatically change their appearance, offering the possibility to adopt a new look. Made from medical-grade silicone, these suits provide lifelike skin texture and anatomically accurate body proportions. Every detail is carefully designed, including natural facial features, realistic expressions, visible pores, and fine wrinkles. The suits also include proportional body elements like the chest, hips, and buttocks, enhancing their authenticity. What sets Ryanair apart from competitors is its attention to comfort and usability. These silicone suits are easy to use and comfortable for extended wear. They are designed to fit a wide range of body sizes and shapes, ensuring a natural look for every user. The materials are hypoallergenic and skin-safe, suitable for prolonged use without irritation. This is not just about looking different, it's about feeling comfortable while doing it. The applications for these suits are diverse. They are used in theatrical productions, public performances, themed events, and personal transformations. Whether for entertainment or self-expression, Ryanair's hyper-realistic suits provide a unique way to experience different personas, making them popular among a broad audience. Additionally, the Chinese government has shown interest in this technology. Captured at an exhibition, images show officials engaging with the creator while a model demonstrates the suit's capabilities. These suits are currently used in theater and film to enable actors to portray different characters convincingly. This innovation raises important discussions about identity, security, and the future of human interaction. If you could transform your appearance with a suit like Ryanair's, what new persona would you choose to become, and why? Comment and chat with me. While Ryanair leads in crafting hyper-realistic silicone suits, other companies around the world are also advancing this field, pushing the limits of realism even further. Let's explore some of the most impressive creations globally, starting with technology that not only changes appearance but can also create striking visual effects. Hyperstealth's Quantum Invisibility Fabric. A Canadian company, Hyperstealth Biotechnology, has developed and patented a thin material called quantum invisibility. According to the company, this material can make objects nearly indistinguishable without needing a power source. The technology is intended for creating special camouflage uniforms for soldiers and police officers. These uniforms are currently being developed for the armies of the United States, India, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Canada, Slovakia, and New Zealand. The concept began as early as 2010 and has recently been introduced to the public. Earlier interest came from the British and US militaries. Guy Kramer, president of Hyperstealth and inventor of this fabric, holds 4 patents related to the technology. Quantum invisibility is based on a plastic-like material with microscopic lenses that scatter and erase light rays. This effect makes objects behind the material harder to see at certain distances. The fabric bends light not only in the visible range but also in ultraviolet and infrared wavelengths. While still under development, this technology could influence camouflage and visibility in future military applications. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. Recently, invisibility technology has attracted growing interest in the scientific community. There are many theories and some prototypes aimed at creating invisible materials. According to Alert, a research group from the University of Extremadura, Spain, has demonstrated a technology for electromagnetic object masking, based on the refractive properties of certain substances. Most current invisibility methods rely on covering an object with special materials. In contrast, Spanish scientists propose adding specific additives directly into the components and materials of the structures themselves. Their approach uses plasma cloaking, which aims to make not only the covering material but also the object itself less detectable. This electromagnetic invisibility effect is achieved by filling structures with materials that have high dielectric and magnetic properties. This method allows invisibility without external coatings or interventions. Additionally, the use of fillers enables the object to interact with its environment without interference from external masking layers. Currently, this technique works only on small objects, but the researchers believe it could be adapted for larger structures in the future. London-based company Invisibility Shield has unveiled a device called Invisibility Shield 2.0 that creates an invisibility effect. The installation is made from transparent polycarbonate and thin lenses that scatter light reflected by the user and the surrounding background, blending with the environment. If mass-produced, the product is expected to retail between $68 and $883. The developers suggest it could be used for wildlife observation or some military applications. Invisibility Shield 2.0 is an improved version of the original Shield, reportedly larger, lighter, stronger, more stable and brighter, while also easier to carry. The Shield is a curved sheet of clear polycarbonate held in a frame of the same material, with tall, thin lenses running vertically behind it. When a user stands behind the device, the lenses scatter the surrounding light reflected off their body across the Shield's surface. This causes viewers looking from the front to see mostly the background light, which helps the Shield blend visually with its surroundings. Practical uses mentioned include concealing participants on a Korean dating show, paintball games, stage illusions, hiding small items on desks, and wildlife observation. One limitation is that users cannot clearly see through the Shield and must peek around it. Despite this, the technology represents a notable step forward in practical invisibility-type applications. While high-tech solutions often dominate, sometimes simple techniques used by military professionals achieve effective invisibility in surprisingly straightforward ways. In Japan, disguise technology has reached an impressive level with hyper-realistic 3D masks. Tokyo-based shop Kamenya Omote, known for theatrical props, has created masks that replicate a person's face with remarkable detail. These masks use advanced 3D printing techniques to capture facial features with high accuracy. The main difference from a real face is the lack of natural movement in the lips and eyes. The process begins by printing a high-resolution image onto a plastic surface, producing a close replica of a person's face. Shop owner Shuhei Okawara shared that since launching the project, thousands have requested masks of their own faces. These hyper-realistic masks appeared in stores in spring 2021, priced around $950. Despite the cost, they quickly attracted global interest. Looking forward, Okawara plans to expand the collection to include masks representing diverse ethnic backgrounds. While these masks are primarily used for entertainment and artistic purposes, their realism has raised concerns about security and identity misuse. The potential impacts highlight the need for responsible use of such technology. Japan is not alone in advancing facial transformation technology. Worldwide, companies are developing masks so realistic they challenge traditional ideas of identity and recognition. Let's also examine how British innovation is further evolving this technology. The British company Metamorphose Masks specializes in creating ultra-realistic masks that can fool even the most observant eyes. Using advanced technology and high-quality materials like silicone and precision dyes, they craft masks that closely resemble real human faces. The production process involves multiple steps. First, a digital model of the face is created. Then, a silicone mold is formed, capturing every detail including wrinkles, pores, and skin texture. Skilled artists hand-paint the mask, adding realistic features such as eye color, hair texture, and expression lines. These masks have many uses, especially in the film industry, where they help actors transform into different characters without heavy CGI. They are also used in security and forensic science for discrete operations. However, the mask's realism has raised concerns that such technology could potentially be misused to disguise identity, making it more challenging for law enforcement in some cases. One of Metamorphose Mask's most advanced products is the Elder Mask, a hyper-realistic silicone mask, combining expert craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. Made from skin-safe, platinum-grade silicone, it offers exceptional flexibility and durability for long wear. Key features include seamless eye holes designed to appear small and natural, and a power mesh reinforcement system in areas like the mouth, eyes, ears, and nose, allowing natural movement without compromising durability. The mask's extended bib coverage ensures a smooth transition between the mask and the wearer's body. Its sophisticated lip cupping system enhances mouth movement, ideal for actors and performers. Additionally, a fully adjustable nose bridge provides a secure fit, improving comfort and facial mobility. Prices for these professional-grade masks range from $1,200 to $3,500, depending on customization and detail. Here's an effective example of camouflage designed specifically for rocky terrain. Notice how difficult it is to spot the camouflage soldier among the rocks. It's not a special suit that conceals him, but a lightweight cotton shawl, something like a large scarf that can be folded and carried in a waist bag. This technique is practical and highly valued by professional soldiers. While ordinary people are unlikely to need it, military snipers appreciate the ability to blend into their surroundings quickly. In a way, the person visually merges with the rocks. The strength of this approach lies in its simplicity. While some companies invest millions in developing high-tech invisibility solutions, this cotton shawl achieves effective camouflage through basic principles of visual disruption. The fabric features patterns and colors that break up the human silhouette against rocky backgrounds. What makes it especially useful is how quickly it can be deployed. In combat, speed matters, and being able to blend in within seconds can be critical for survival. You might be surprised, but although this device is painted in camouflage colors, its secret doesn't lie in that. Once set up, its function becomes clear immediately. At first glance, it looks like a setup for an unusual photo shoot, but this technology can be very useful for hunters. Experts may recognize it as a mirror hide. The principle is simple. The reflective surface allows the enclosure to blend with the landscape, while the hunter remains hidden inside. While this may not fool other people, the technology works effectively with animals. The mirror hide combines camouflage techniques with practical use. Wildlife photographers and hunters have used similar concepts for decades, but modern versions have become more advanced. The reflective panels are designed to reduce distortion while enhancing the blending effect with the environment. Here is a clever illusion created by the automotive company Mercedes-Benz. What you see is not just a flat screen, but a fully functioning automobile transformed by technology. On one side, the car was covered with a carpet of LEDs, and on the other, a camera was installed. The camera instantly transmits images to the LED panels, turning the car into a real chameleon. This effect even works while driving. Mercedes used this to promote their lineup of zero-emission cars, making the vehicle blend with its surroundings. It's an impressive concept. This marketing stunt demonstrated the potential for active camouflage systems in vehicles. The technology involves hundreds of LED panels synchronized with high-definition cameras. The system processes visual information in real time, creating a seamless display that can make the vehicle appear nearly invisible from certain angles. While primarily a marketing demonstration, the underlying technology has notable implications for military and security uses. The Mercedes Invisible Car project reportedly cost around $250,000 to develop and execute, but the publicity value was substantial. The video showcasing the invisible car went viral, gaining millions of views and establishing Mercedes as an innovative leader in automotive technology. This example shows how companies increasingly use advanced camouflage and invisibility concepts not only for practical purposes but also as powerful marketing tools. If you saw a car disappear right before your eyes like the Mercedes-Benz Invisible Car, how would you react? Would it amaze you or make you uneasy? At first glance, Landon Meyer's masks look like digital illusions, but they are masterfully crafted from high-quality latex. Meyer, an American artist, is the creator behind Hyperflesh, a company specializing in hyper-realistic masks that have impressed and fascinated people worldwide. Meyer gained global attention in 2011 when eerie, lifelike baby masks went viral on the internet. Demand for his masks exploded overnight. Before this breakthrough, he produced about 25 masks per month, but afterward that number surged to 250. Even with a price of $350 per mask, buyers eagerly sought his unique creations. At the 2013 Comic-Con festival, Meyer made headlines again with his most famous creation, a hyper-realistic Walter White mask modeled after the character from Breaking Bad. In a memorable moment, Bryan Cranston, the actor who played Walter White, wore the mask as a prank, fooling fans before revealing his true identity. After the event, Meyer auctioned the mask on eBay, where it sold for an impressive $41,000. Each of Meyer's masks is meticulously handcrafted, involving a detailed process of sculpting, 3D printing, and internal casting. His dedication to realism continues to redefine mask making, leaving audiences amazed and intrigued by his uncanny creations. The success of Hyperflesh has inspired many imitators, but Meyer's attention to detail and artistic vision keep him at the forefront of the industry. What if disguises became machines that think and feel? Japan's humanoid robot blurs the lines even further. In a notable advance in robotics, engineers from Tokyo University of Electrical Engineering have unveiled a humanoid robot named Yu. This cutting-edge android represents significant progress in artificial intelligence and human-like robotics. Yu is designed to function as a fully interactive human avatar capable of mimicking emotions, replicating natural movements, and engaging with people in real time. What distinguishes Yu is its ultra-realistic synthetic skin, engineered to closely resemble the texture, elasticity, and appearance of human skin. Beneath this lifelike exterior is a sophisticated system of micro-actuators and sensors, allowing the robot to perform subtle facial expressions, from a gentle smile to a raised eyebrow. UFO's ability to convey emotions is impressively human-like. One of UFO's key features is its advanced control system. Operators can wear virtual reality headsets to synchronize their head and eye movements with the robot, enabling the robot to react instantly. Its vision system includes high-resolution cameras with a wide field of view of approximately 200 degrees, letting UFO scan and process its surroundings accurately, similar to human perception. The development cost for Robot UFO exceeded $2.5 million, reflecting years of research and development. With ongoing advancements, UFO is helping bring the world closer to a future where robots integrate seamlessly into everyday life, narrowing the gap between artificial intelligence and human interaction. The potential applications in healthcare, education, and entertainment are significant. While hyper-realistic animatronics are making a strong impact in the entertainment industry, robotics companies are pushing boundaries in other fields as well. In Russia, Promobot has been developing humanoid robots that look so lifelike they could easily be mistaken for real people. A recently released video from the company offers an inside look at their highly detailed manufacturing process. Engineers begin by sculpting each robot's facial features with extreme precision. Every wrinkle, skin texture, and facial expression is carefully crafted to replicate human appearance. The final assembly brings all components together, resulting in robots that don't just move like humans, they also look and interact like them. These humanoid machines serve practical purposes beyond display. They include advanced facial and speech recognition, enabling them to identify individuals and engage in conversations. High-tech sensors allow them to navigate spaces independently, avoid obstacles, and respond to people nearby. Additionally, these robots can integrate with external systems, making them capable of handling complex tasks in business, education, and customer service. As the technology behind human replication advances rapidly, developments in creating highly realistic silicone faces are bringing artificial and real appearances closer than ever before. Let's explore the final frontier of human replication technology. In the world of hyper-realistic disguises, every detail matters. A YouTube creator from the BFX channel recently showcased the astonishing process behind crafting a lifelike silicone face mask. The journey begins with an exact mold of a real face, using skin-safe materials such as alginate or specialized silicone. This technique captures even the smallest details, pores, wrinkles, and natural skin texture, ensuring high accuracy. Once the mold is prepared, a rigid base is created, followed by carefully pouring high-quality silicone infused with pigments to achieve a lifelike skin tone. The real artistry comes next, hand detailing. This stage involves adding microscopic textures, delicate veins, natural blemishes, and individual freckles to create an uncanny resemblance to real human skin. To complete the mask, artists meticulously insert individual hairs, eyebrows, eyelashes, and subtle stubble by hand, bringing the creation to life with an astonishing level of realism. The finished product is so detailed that it is nearly indistinguishable from an actual human face. These masks have become essential tools in film and theater, as well as photography, special effects, and mannequin displays. The process usually takes between 40 to 60 hours of skilled labor, with costs ranging from $2,000 to $8,000 depending on the detail level. Professional makeup artists and special effects studios invest in these premium masks because the results are unmatched by other available technologies. As this technology advances, the line between artificial and real continues to blur. Don't miss out on the next big breakthrough. Subscribe now and join us on the front lines of tomorrow's technology. As technology advances, the line between human and artificial appearance is becoming increasingly blurred. The American magazine Wired recently explored a growing phenomenon: hyper-realistic masks that are highly convincing and can sometimes challenge both people and surveillance systems in identification. The creation process begins with a detailed facial cast using high-quality materials like alginate or specialized silicone. Once the mold is removed, artists meticulously refine every part of the mask, adding lifelike skin textures, delicate wrinkles, and small details such as freckles and veins. With specialized paints and sculpting tools, the final product closely resembles a real human face. These masks serve many legitimate purposes, including helping actors in film and theater undergo dramatic transformations. Intelligence agencies and law enforcement may also use them for authorized undercover operations. However, the realistic nature of these masks has raised ethical and security concerns. There have been reports of masks being misused in criminal activities, challenging security systems, and complicating identification efforts. Incidents such as attempted evasion of security measures have prompted a response from law enforcement and security professionals. To address these challenges, agencies are developing new detection methods, including thermal imaging and advanced biometric scanners, to distinguish real skin from artificial materials. As detection technologies improve, mask designs continue to evolve, leading to an ongoing effort to balance innovation with security. As technology continues to evolve, scientists and engineers are advancing humanoid robotics to unprecedented levels of realism. Around the world, cutting-edge laboratories and robotics companies are developing machines that not only move like humans but also think, react, and express emotions with remarkable accuracy. One company leading this field is Engineered Arts, a pioneer in hyper-realistic android development. Their engineers are perfecting robots that replicate human facial expressions with great precision. These advanced machines can smile, frown, raise an eyebrow, and even respond to human emotions in real time. By carefully studying human perception, designers fine-tune their creations to ensure the most natural and believable interactions. These robots are built for practical uses, from customer service and education to medical rehabilitation. Humanoid robots aim to integrate seamlessly into everyday life. The goal is to create machines that not only look human, but also function effectively in social and professional settings. Investment in this technology is significant. Engineered Arts has received over $50 million in funding to develop its robots. Major companies such as Toyota, Honda, and Boston Dynamics are investing billions into research and development. The race to create the perfect humanoid robot is one of the most competitive and well-funded technological pursuits today. The future may see human-like robots become common in daily interactions. These machines could serve as companions, assistants, and even perform roles traditionally held by humans in various industries. The potential impacts on society, employment, and human relationships are profound and wide-ranging. Impressed by these amazing technologies. They're not just ideas, they've been used in real movies. From hyper-realistic masks in Mission Impossible to advanced animatronics in blockbusters, Hollywood uses these innovations to create characters that blur fiction and reality. Human transformation technology has rapidly evolved from simple makeup to systems that can change appearances or create lifelike artificial beings. These technologies are applied in entertainment, art, security, and the military, but with such power comes responsibility. As these tools become more accessible, society must address ethical questions about balancing innovation, security, and privacy. Tell us in the comments which invention impressed you most. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out our previous videos on cutting-edge technologies reshaping our world. See you next time.
To Mount Everest, where gridlock on top of the mountain may be to blame for at least 9 deaths just this year there.
Mount Everest, standing proudly at over 29,000 feet above sea level, this mountain holds fascinating discoveries that continue to captivate researchers and explorers alike. What extraordinary findings lie within its icy slopes? Let's uncover 15 remarkable facts about Mount Everest that continue to intrigue even the most experienced scientists. In 2013, veteran climber John Griffin encountered an unexpected challenge high on Mount Everest. Not from the elements, but from tension within the climbing community. What started as a simple misunderstanding about fixed ropes quickly intensified when a group of Sherpas, reportedly upset that Griffin's team had crossed their lines, confronted the climbers. As emotions rose near Camp 2, the situation became increasingly uncertain. At that crucial moment, Melissa Arnott, who had summited Everest several times, stepped in. Recognizing the potential for serious conflict, she advised Griffin and his partners to retreat. They followed her guidance and descended safely by an alternate route. Since then, Nepalese officials and expedition leaders have promoted clearer communication, stronger cooperation, and shared respect among all who climb Everest. The incident endures as a reminder that success on the world's highest peak depends not only on strength and skill, but also on trust, empathy, and unity. Hidden along its northeast ridge, near the final section of the summit route from the North Col, lies a place known quietly among climbers as Rainbow Valley. It doesn't appear on maps, but every mountaineer knows its name. Rainbow Valley earned its title from the bright colors of the insulated suits and climbing gear worn by those who never completed their descent. Reds, blues, and yellows still mark the icy slopes, reminders of the many who pursued the summit with extraordinary courage. Each spring, hundreds of climbers make their final push toward the peak, and while most return safely, a few remain behind. The extreme altitude and severe cold make recovery nearly impossible, preserving everything the mountain claims. Over time, Rainbow Valley has come to symbolize both human determination and the immense power of nature. Though its name evokes vibrance, the valley serves as a solemn landmark, a place of reflection rather than tragedy. Do you believe Rainbow Valley should remain untouched as a memorial to those who lost their lives on Mount Everest? Please comment number 1 if you think yes, like me. In the spring of 1952, a little-known Soviet expedition set out to reach the summit of Mount Everest from its remote northern face, an entire year before Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay achieved their historic ascent. Their mission was ambitious: to raise portraits of Lenin and Stalin atop the world's highest peak as a proud display of national achievement during the height of the Cold War. The climbers advanced to more than 26,000 feet, establishing their final camp on the edge of the so-called death zone. After that, they were never seen again. No official report was released, and the event quietly faded from public record. The only reference appeared in a 1953 Alpine Journal article by writer Eugenie Giguère, who briefly noted the team's existence. For many years, their story lingered in silence. Then in 2017, a modern search team investigating the disappearance of a Slovak climber discovered an old tent at Camp 4. Inside were 4 preserved bodies, unlisted in any climbing registry. To this day, the mystery endures. Years before Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reached Everest summit in 1953, 2 English climbers may have done it first. In June 1924, George Mallory and Andrew Sandy Irvine set out for the top and vanished during their final ascent. Geologist Noel Odell last saw them high on the northeast ridge, moving steadily toward the summit before clouds closed in. Mallory, a veteran of the 1921 and 1922 expeditions, understood the dangers of high altitude and championed the use of supplemental oxygen. Irvine, though younger and less experienced, was skilled in maintaining the oxygen systems and proved vital to their effort. When searchers arrived the next day, the camp stood empty. Decades later, in 1999, climber Conrad Anker discovered Mallory's body at 26,700 feet, remarkably preserved but missing the camera that could confirm their success. The photograph Mallory had promised to leave on the summit for his wife was also gone. Nearly a century on, the question remains: did Mallory and Irvine reach the highest point on Earth? The mystery continues to inspire admiration for their courage and pursuit of discovery. On Mount Everest, many climbers have lost their lives in pursuit of its summit. More than 200 bodies remain on its slopes, preserved by the freezing temperatures. These are not just numbers, they stand as lasting reminders of the mountain's immense challenges. One of the most recognized is Chuang Paljor, an Indian climber from the Indo-Tibetan Border Police expedition who died during a powerful storm in May 1996. Known as Green Boots for his bright footwear, his body lay for years in a limestone alcove near the summit route, becoming an unintended landmark. When visible, it signaled that the top was close, and many climbers paused there before pressing on. Over time, Green Boots came to represent both the risks and respect that define Everest. Recent reports suggest his remains have since been moved out of sight as part of efforts to preserve dignity and safety on the mountain. For many, his story continues to embody the courage, endurance, and mystery surrounding the world's highest peak. And before we continue unfolding this fascinating discovery, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. In April 2017, the mountaineering community was deeply moved by the loss of Ueli Stick, known worldwide as the Swiss Machine. Celebrated for his unmatched speed, precision, and solo climbing style, Steck was preparing for an extraordinary challenge: to ascend Mount Everest via the West Ridge, then traverse to neighboring Lhotse, all without supplemental oxygen. Steck's accomplishments were remarkable. Named National Geographic's Adventure of the Year in 2015, and a recipient of the Pilot d'Or for his daring solo ascent of Annapurna, he also held record-setting climbs on peaks such as the Eiger and the Matterhorn. His technical mastery and endurance earned him a place among the most accomplished climbers in history. During an acclimatization climb on Lhotse, near Everest, Steck fell and did not survive. There were no witnesses, and the exact cause remains uncertain. Some believe a slip on unstable ice or a sudden change in conditions may have contributed. His legacy endures as a symbol of ambition, precision, and the unyielding pursuit of excellence in high-altitude mountaineering. In 2004, Pemba Dorje Sherpa gained worldwide attention after reportedly reaching the summit of Mount Everest in just 8 hours and 10 minutes, then considered the fastest ascent ever recorded. Yet for Pemba, Everest has always represented far more than speed. It embodies endurance, respect, and survival. During one expedition near a glacier known as the Football Field, an unexpected avalanche swept across the slope. Pemba shielded a fellow climber from Alaska, but 16 others lost their lives. The experience left a lasting impression on him. Years later, while passing near the South Col, Pemba spoke of sensing faint movements and distant sounds around the remains of past climbers. Many Sherpas share similar accounts of mysterious lights and echoes that drift through the thin air of the mountain. Researchers later discovered that some of these sounds have a natural cause. A Nepal-Japan study revealed they come from thermal fracturing when the ice contracts in extreme cold, creating cracks that boom across the glacier like distant thunder. Still, despite science's explanations, Everest retains an atmosphere of wonder, where every whisper of wind seems to carry a story of endurance and respect for those who climb its heights. In the shadow of Mount Everest, stories of the mysterious Yeti continue to echo through the Himalayas. Described in regional folklore as a nocturnal, ape-like creature covered in reddish-brown or gray fur, the Yeti is said to stand about 6 feet tall and weigh several hundred pounds. Unlike the larger Bigfoot of North America, it is believed to roam below the snow line, occasionally leaving curious footprints across the high-altitude landscapes of Nepal, Tibet, and surrounding regions. One of the most famous reports came in 1951, when British mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed a large footprint on the Menlung Glacier near Everest. Measuring roughly 33 centimeters with a thumb-like toe, the image captured worldwide attention and inspired numerous expeditions. Among them was one funded by American explorer Tom Slick, who sent teams with porters and tracking dogs in search of evidence. Though no scientific proof has been confirmed, researchers like Daniel C. Taylor later suggested the prints may belong to a yet unidentified primate or bear species. Still, for many living near Everest, the Yeti remains a respected part of mountain lore, an enduring symbol of nature's mysteries high in the Himalayas. High on Mount Everest, geologists have discovered something extraordinary: marine fossils embedded in the rock near the summit of the world's highest peak. These remains of ancient sea creatures, including small shell fragments and crinoids, reveal that Everest's summit was once part of the ocean floor. This discovery supports the theory of plate tectonics. Over 50 million years ago, the Indian and Eurasian plates collided, forcing ancient seabed layers upward to form the towering Himalayan range. The limestone that now crowns Everest was once settled in the depths of the long-vanished Tethys Ocean. Rather than a mystery or anomaly, these fossils tell a remarkable story of Earth's transformation, from ocean depths to sky-high peaks. They remind us that even the mightiest mountains are part of our planet's ongoing journey of change, connecting land, sea, and time in ways both humbling and awe-inspiring. Does it surprise you to learn that the summit of Mount Everest was once part of the ocean floor? Let's discuss in the comments section. In 1975, British climbers Dougal Haston and Doug Scott achieved a historic milestone, becoming the first to reach Mount Everest summit via the southwest face under the leadership of Chris Bonington. But their triumph quickly turned into a test of survival. They had reached the top late in the day and were forced to spend the night in the death zone, where oxygen is scarce, temperatures plummet, and survival is rare. Without food, water, or shelter, they dug a shallow snow cave and prepared for what seemed to be their final night. As exhaustion set in, both climbers later described sensing a calm, reassuring presence beside them, an unseen companion that brought warmth and clarity, helping them stay alert through the freezing darkness. By morning, against all odds, both men were alive. Their experience became one of the most remarkable survival stories in mountaineering history, and one of the earliest recorded cases of what scientists now call the third man factor, a phenomenon reported by explorers who sense a benevolent presence during moments of extreme peril. To this day, their story continues to inspire wonder about the limits of human endurance and what might accompany us when those limits are reached. Mount Everest's extreme altitude seems inhospitable to life, yet scientists have discovered a surprising range of species that endure its harsh conditions. Near 22,000 feet, tiny Himalayan jumping spiders survive by feeding on wind-blown insects carried up from the valleys below, making them some of the highest living known creatures on Earth. Reports from the 1924 British Everest expedition also noted frozen grasshoppers at similar elevations, suggesting that hardy insects occasionally reach even these near-lifeless zones. Lower on the mountain, larger animals like snow leopards, Himalayan tahr, and blue sheep roam the rocky slopes, while black bears and red pandas inhabit the dense forests at its base. Each of these species demonstrates extraordinary adaptation, thick fur, efficient lungs, and behaviors honed by millennia of evolution. Together they reveal that even in one of the planet's harshest environments, life finds remarkable ways to endure and thrive amid the silence and ice of the Himalayas. Among the many adventurers drawn to Mount Everest, Few are as intriguing as Maurice Wilson, an Englishman whose 1933 expedition remains one of the mountain's most unusual tales. Driven by deep faith and belief in the power of fasting and prayer, Wilson set out to climb Everest alone, convinced that determination and spiritual discipline could achieve what experience could not. After a brief stay in Darjeeling, he refined his plan to fly his de Havilland Gypsy Moth aircraft from Britain to India, reach Tibet, and attempt the mountain solo, despite having little formal training in either aviation or mountaineering. Against all odds, Wilson reached Tibet, evaded local restrictions, and ascended to nearly 22,000 feet before his journey came to an end. A British expedition discovered his remains the following year, along with his diary, which documented his steadfast optimism even in the mountain's thin air. Reports noted that he was found wearing women's clothing, possibly connected to his earlier work in a New Zealand dress shop, a detail that fueled decades of speculation but remains unexplained. Whether or not he reached the summit before he died is still debated. What endures is his story of conviction, courage, and the belief that sheer willpower could carry a man to the roof of the world. Mount Everest, standing at over 29,000 feet, represents far more than the world's highest mountain. It is a symbol of nature's power, cultural reverence, and human perseverance. Since 1976, it has formed the centerpiece of Sagarmatha National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site celebrated for its breathtaking Himalayan scenery and deep spiritual importance to the Sherpa community. Yet beneath its grandeur lies a growing environmental challenge. Each year, more than 100,000 visitors travel to the Everest region, and around 600 climbers attempt the summit during spring. This surge brings significant waste, discarded tents, oxygen cylinders, food packaging, and human waste. As glaciers retreat and snow melts due to climate change, long-buried debris resurfaces, threatening water sources for nearby villages. Experts estimate that over 12,000 pounds of human waste are left on the mountain annually, much of it seeping into the soil and rivers that sustain local life. To address this, Nepal introduced a refundable waste deposit system. Climbers pay $4,000, returned only if they bring back their trash. Local groups like the Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee and the Mount Everest Biogas Project are also leading cleanup and waste-to-energy efforts. Still, balancing environmental protection with tourism revenue remains complex. Since the first ascent by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, over 4,000 climbers have stood atop Everest, and the number continues to rise. Do you think stricter limits should be placed on the number of climbers allowed on Mount Everest each year to protect its environment? Let us know in the comments below. Between 1989 and 1999, Anatoly Bukreev achieved an extraordinary record, reaching the summits of 18 peaks over 8,000 meters and earning global respect as one of the finest high-altitude climbers of his time. Yet, his defining moment came during the 1996 Everest expedition, a season that tested every climber's endurance and judgment. That year, Bukreev reached the summit without supplemental oxygen and chose to descend ahead of others, sensing a severe storm approaching. His decision soon proved critical, as fierce winds and whiteout conditions swept the mountain. Bukreev returned alone through the night to search for missing climbers, rescuing 3 and guiding others toward safety. While his methods differed from standard expedition practices and sparked debate about leadership and decision-making at extreme altitude, his courage was undeniable. In 1997, the American Alpine Club honored him with the David A. Sowles Memorial Award, recognizing his extraordinary bravery and dedication to others. Today, Anatoly Bukreev's legacy continues to inspire climbers worldwide, not only for his strength and skill, but for his unwavering sense of responsibility in the face of nature's greatest challenges. In April 2015, mountaineer and geologist Jim Davidson was at Camp 1 on Mount Everest when a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal. Moments later, 2 avalanches swept across the slopes, isolating Jim and about 180 other climbers on a narrow ledge nearly 19,700 feet above sea level. With helicopter rescues delayed by storms and supplies running low, the situation demanded endurance and teamwork. Throughout those tense hours, local Sherpas worked with remarkable strength and calm, helping everyone stay safe until rescue teams could arrive. After 40 hours, Jim was finally airlifted to safety. That day became one of the most significant in Everest's history, and across Nepal, the event deeply affected communities. Jim later recounted his experience in the next Everest, reflecting on the lessons of resilience and hope. His ability to stay composed under pressure had roots in an earlier challenge, surviving a climbing accident on Mount Rainier in 1992. That experience strengthened his resolve and prepared him for the trials ahead. In 2017 at 54, Jim returned to Mount Everest with renewed determination. After months of focused training, he reached the summit, carrying with him a message of perseverance and respect for the mountain and all who had journeyed before him. These 15 discoveries reveal that Mount Everest is far more than just the world's tallest mountain. What do you think is really happening on Mount Everest? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable in extreme environments? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know which of these discoveries scared you the most. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
There's some sort of a lesson in the myth, some sort of allegory. There's things about these stories that probably have hints of truth.
Why was the Book of Enoch removed from the Bible? This ancient text offers insights beyond traditional religious teachings. Recently, AI has helped uncover new interpretations, sparking interesting discussions. What new understandings did the AI reveal? And why has the Catholic Church shown caution regarding this knowledge? Explore the history and significance of the Book of Enoch, as well as the various perspectives surrounding it. Let's begin. On January 7, 2025, Joe Rogan interviewed Canadian Christian apologist Wesley Huff about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Huff believes the Essenes wrote the scrolls, which are mostly in ancient Hebrew with some parts in Aramaic, Greek, and Nabatean. Despite decades of research and advanced AI, the texts remain partially undeciphered because they are deliberately encrypted. The translated sections have drawn attention because they challenge some modern theological views and reveal previously unknown prophecies. These manuscripts could influence how people understand Christianity, God, and humanity. Among them is the Book of Enoch, whose cryptic passages AI helped translate, leading to efforts to manage its public release. What role do you think AI should play in unlocking the secrets of historical and religious documents, exciting or potentially dangerous? Comment and chat with me. In 1947, Bedouin teens near Qumran by the Dead Sea discovered clay jars containing ancient leather and papyrus scrolls in a cave. Some scrolls were kept, others sold, eventually reaching John C. Trevor of the American Schools of Oriental Research. He recognized their importance after comparing them to the Nash papyrus. Archaeologists later found between 800 and 900 manuscripts in 10 nearby caves. Among them is the Book of Enoch, which includes 5 books. These scrolls were known to some Jewish and early Christian communities, with references by some New Testament authors. The Book of Enoch is part of the biblical canon for the Ethiopian Jewish community and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, but most other groups consider it non-canonical. This discovery is significant because these sacred texts were preserved for nearly 2,000 years. It offers insights into early Christian history and beliefs. In the next part, I will share something interesting that few people know. But before continuing, you can click hype to help this video get seen by more people. Scholars and church fathers have long debated the Book of Enoch, leading to differing views about its place in the Bible. Its writings differ from some Orthodox beliefs, causing some to regard it as challenging or outside standard study. The book was eventually excluded from the biblical canon. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church preserved and translated the book, but it was no longer widely available after being banned in the 2nd century. In 1773, James Bruce rediscovered the manuscripts, showing links between Second Temple Judaism and early Christianity. Richard Lawrence translated parts in 1821, and R.H. Charles published the most complete version in 1906, organizing the book into sections on cosmology, theology, and history. Recent advances in AI have helped uncover new interpretations of the text, which have generated interest and discussion about its significance for Christian studies. Enoch is a mysterious biblical figure who, unlike others, did not die, but was taken by God. His story is brief, showing he served God faithfully, without expecting reward. Born to Jared, he fathered Methuselah at 162 and lived 365 years before disappearing. Scriptures describe him as a preacher and prophet who warned of God's judgment. His work paved the way for Noah's mission. While the Bible gives limited details, the Book of Enoch reveals that he was given knowledge meant to be hidden from humans. In a time when most lived only 40 to 50 years, Enoch's long life and sudden vanishing are extraordinary. The Book of Enoch explains why God chose to take him alive. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. It helps support the channel, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more great content. In the book of Enoch, he ascended to heaven several times. Before one ascent, he gathered over 2,000 people to teach faith, humility, truth, and hope. Another account connects his ascension to a flood prophecy, during which he and his brothers built an altar to worship God. Enoch sacrificed there, and the altar shook as a knife appeared in his hand. His son Methuselah and other prophets continued this ritual. Years after Methuselah's death, his son Naira had a vision of God's flood. At the same time, Naira's wife Sapim became pregnant in old age, similar to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Accused of wrongdoing, Sapim died while pleading with Naira, but their child survived. This child, named Melchizedek, appeared angelic and symbolized the renewal of God's priesthood. After spending 40 days with Naira, the angel Michael took Melchizedek to heaven by God's command. Grieving, Naira died without fathering more prophets, leaving no preacher to guide the people, making Noah's Ark necessary. Though these stories may sound like mythology, early Christians valued these texts enough to preserve them carefully. This raises questions about their significance. After studying Enoch's life, scholars and religious leaders suggest the Book of Enoch may contain more than previously understood. As a pre-flood prophet, Enoch is credited with early contributions to writing and language. Several untranslated scrolls dated to Enoch's time may provide insight into events from his era, supporting the idea that he authored the book. The contents can be difficult to interpret, including accounts of his multiple ascensions and mysterious origins. Recent AI translations have offered new perspectives beyond biographical details, including descriptions of ancient cosmology and knowledge that predates modern astronomy. Some passages also contain warnings that some interpret as relevant to today's world. The Vatican's reaction reflects concern about how this ancient text is understood and its impact on religious beliefs. The Book of Enoch describes angels who revolted against God and were cast out of heaven. According to the text, when these angels came to earth, they engaged in actions that allegedly influenced humanity for generations. The angels admired the daughters of men and took wives, resulting in offspring. The book details these unions and includes 3 parables shown to Enoch in the second section. The third part discusses astrology and the cosmos, while the fourth covers visions of impending events spaced 52 years apart. The final section is based on his epistle, where he shared his visions and urged repentance. What makes this particularly interesting when looking at modern AI translations is that these texts offer specific names, locations, and descriptions of the angels and their progeny, providing a narrative that some interpret as more historical than allegorical. Moreover, AI-assisted translations of previously unreadable sections suggest these angels might have imparted advanced knowledge to humans, including metallurgy, astronomy, mathematics, and concepts resembling genetic manipulation, long before such scientific knowledge was established. A special portion of the Book of Enoch is dedicated to Methuselah, guiding him to maintain godly ways throughout his life. In chapter 7, the book describes angels in their glory alongside fallen angels, referred to as watchers who cause sin and chaos on earth. These watchers are described as both good and rebellious, with the latter turning away from God's path under a leader identified as Satan. The book also mentions angels bowing to Enoch and archangels transporting him through the heavens. In chapter 6, similar to Genesis, the text describes fallen angels taking human wives, resulting in offspring described as giants and strong beings known as Nephilim. According to the book, the fallen angels taught humans forbidden knowledge, including sorcery and other practices. Recent AI-assisted translations have provided more specific details, suggesting that advanced scientific knowledge was shared, which was previously unclear. One figure mentioned among these beings is described in Aramaic terms related to demonic imagery, linked to traditions like the Jewish scapegoat ritual, which symbolizes forgiveness and repentance during the Day of Atonement. Some angels in the Book of Enoch, such as Ramiel, Azazel, and Gadriel, are described with names that have meanings relating to God or strength. These figures have been interpreted in various ways throughout history, and some modern interpretations associate Azazel with Satan. The name Ramiel is noted to be similar to Lucifer, a term meaning morning star, which in Christian tradition is associated with Satan. AI translations suggest these names may represent specific entities with detailed roles and influences. Scholars such as Nathaniel Schmidt have studied these names, explaining their meanings and roles before and after the angel's fall. Many names end with El, meaning God, and include prominent archangels like Uriel and Michael. Gadriel, for example, is described as one of the fallen watchers and is linked to the deception of Eve. The Book of Enoch contains many elements that challenge traditional beliefs about the universe and humanity's origins. These interpretations have raised debate in religious and academic circles, and some speculate about the implications of AI translations, suggesting a complex history of non-human intelligences influencing human affairs. Such claims are subject to ongoing discussion and interpretation. If you think this video deserves to be known by more people, click the hype button right below. Each time you hype, this video will be recommended more. Or fragmentary editions of the astronomical book 4Q211, 4Q208, 4Q209 were found at Qumran and date to the 2nd century BC. To Enoch during his journeys to heaven, calendar later used by the Dead Sea sect, which made it difficult to celebrate festivals simultaneously with the Jerusalem temple. Enoch's calendar has 364 days, divided into 4 seasons of 91 days each, with 3 months of 30 days plus 1 extra day. Each year contains exactly 52 weeks, always starting on Wednesday, the 4th day of creation when the lights in the sky were made. How this calendar aligned with the tropical year of 365.24 days, or if any adjustments were made, is uncertain. Enoch describes astronomical concepts with notable precision for someone living thousands of years before telescopes. He outlines a cosmic map called the Heavenly Circle, with orbits named after Roman gods: Aphrodite, Venus, Ares, Mars, Zeus, Jupiter, Hermes, Mercury, and Saturn, reflecting planetary movements that were unknown at the time. Celestial space is described as divided into 3 dimensions called SOA, perceived space, physical geography and measurements, conceived space, abstract, influenced by mental ability, and a 3rd space affecting both, linked with history and humanity. Enoch's journeys portray vivid cosmology and present God as the force connecting all creatures. Some AI-aided translations suggest these ancient texts may contain concepts resembling multidimensional physics, ideas only recently explored by modern science. This raises interesting questions about the origins of this knowledge. Jesus often called himself the Son of Man, a phrase commonly understood to link him to humanity. The Book of Enoch, however, offers a different interpretation. Enoch also used this term, showing it has deeper roots in Aramaic, Hebrew, and apocalyptic literature. In Aramaic, Son of Man can refer to all humans but is specifically used by some who identify themselves this way. The Hebrew prophet Ezekiel used it to emphasize his human nature, born of a woman and unlike angels. This meaning also applies to Jesus, who described himself as flesh and bone, enduring death. Scholars say the apocalyptic meaning describes a divine figure fulfilling God's plan of salvation. Some recent AI-assisted translations suggest the term may refer to humans believed to receive special revelations from beings beyond ordinary human experience. Enoch identified himself as part of a group with unique spiritual experiences. This interpretation invites new discussions about Enoch's role and possibly Jesus' use of the term. It raises questions about whether certain humans have served as intermediaries between humanity and otherworldly beings. These ideas extend beyond traditional Christian theology and remain open to interpretation. According to Enoch, he was taken to the second heaven, where he saw great darkness. In this darkness were angels held prisoner, awaiting God's judgment. They were described as fallen angels who rebelled against God and were bound with other rebels in the fifth heaven. In Enoch's second book, these evil watchers are to face severe punishment. The authorship of the Book of Enoch is still debated and parts remain untranslated. However, recent AI-assisted translations of previously unreadable sections have revealed new interpretations. These fallen angels are described as attempting to influence humans from their imprisonment. The text suggests they communicate through dreams, visions, or telepathic means. Some interpretations indicate these communications may be increasing as a period called the time of the end approaches. This has raised concern among some religious authorities, such as the Vatican. If these translations are accurate, it suggests that these stories might have ongoing spiritual or symbolic significance rather than being just ancient mythology. The nature and extent of such influences remain a topic of discussion and interpretation. The Testament of Solomon is an ancient text associated with King Solomon, often regarded as one of history's wisest figures. While traditional histories may not emphasize it, this book tells stories of Solomon's interactions with demons. According to the text, Solomon learned about a demon named Orneus who caused harm during the temple's construction. Solomon prayed for help, and God sent the angel Michael to deliver a ring to bind demons. Solomon gave the ring to a boy to capture the demon, which was successful. Solomon then questioned the demon about its origins. The demon mentioned the zodiac and claimed to have lost its home after being defeated by the archangel Uriel. The book focuses on Solomon's questions to the demon, identifying various spirits and ways to counter them, often involving the invocation of powerful names like Jesus or angels. Recent AI-assisted translations of previously unreadable sections suggest that these interactions may describe entities with names, hierarchies, and specific areas of influence. The level of detail is notable and has drawn interest for its complexity, resembling detailed reports rather than solely spiritual accounts. According to the Testament of Solomon, Orneus helped capture Beelzebub, a powerful demon, who was then bound with a magical ring. Solomon questioned him about female spirits, and Beelzebub described one named Aniskelus, a figure with unique features who was commanded to assist with tasks such as spinning rope. Beelzebub also revealed that he influenced spirits imprisoned in Tartarus and could be stopped by certain names, including one that made him tremble and vanish. Solomon assigned him to carve marble for the temple. Solomon questioned other spirits, including Tetrax, associated with the wind, who was tasked with lifting temple stones. He also confronted 7-star spirit figures named Deception, Strife, Fate, Distress, Error, Might, and the Worst. 1. Error pretended to be Solomon and admitted to misleading people, possibly referring to events in Solomon's reign. Solomon instructed these beings to help dig the temple's foundation and encountered Scepter, a spirit appearing as a large dog who claimed to deceive those influenced by his star. Through this spirit, Solomon obtained an emerald for the temple. The text also mentions a winged spirit who interacted with humans in mysterious ways, opposed by an angel named Bazoth, who was made to chisel marble for the temple. These accounts suggest that Solomon's construction of the temple involved the help of supernatural beings bound to serve, portraying the temple's building as involving forces beyond human effort according to these ancient traditions. What do you think? Are these ancient descriptions purely symbolic, or could they hint at real phenomena we've yet to understand? Share your thoughts below. The Testament of Solomon also describes how he was able to interrogate an Epsigos, a female demon. This entity goes by several names and can be represented in various forms, including Kronos. The angel Nathaniel is said to have the power to stop her, but the temple cannot contain her. When Solomon asks Nathaniel a question, the angel explains that he must use God's seal. Nathaniel informs Solomon that until the Son of God appears and is stretched out on the cross, the kingdom will be divided and the temple destroyed. Solomon encounters Kunipagos, described as a demon resembling a seahorse with a fishtail and a horse's head. It can appear as a man and cause seasickness. A specific ritual involving bowls and hemp ropes is said to be necessary to banish this creature. This spirit was confined in the temple after Solomon sealed it with his ring. The detailed descriptions in these accounts have raised concerns, particularly from the Vatican. These are not vague spiritual ideas but detailed stories about certain beings, their appearances, and symbolic methods said to control or banish them. Recent AI translations of previously unreadable sections suggest these entities are described as part of a structured hierarchy with roles that influence human affairs. Some are said to specialize in deception, others in causing physical ailments, and some in affecting human emotions and decisions. According to Solomon's story in the Bible, the demon Orneus tells Solomon that certain spirits can fly to heaven and listen in on God's thoughts. However, without a resting place, they lose energy and descend to earth like lightning strikes, sometimes appearing as falling stars. Angels bringing their Lord's directives descend from the sky, while some of these spirits among the jinn try to listen in. They are followed by shooting stars or burning fires as they attempt to gather information. These jinn are often associated with fortune tellers who shape stories based on their interpretations. People sometimes accept everything the fortune teller says. In various tribal traditions, some bright stars in the night sky represent beings who left their heavenly lodges each night at sunset to travel across the sky. Native American societies honored these evening stars as guardians of plants and fields. If these guardians fail in their duties, they are said to be cast down toward Earth and eventually destroyed. This explains why meteors, often called falling stars, are visible in the night sky. It is important to note that the Bible uses symbolic language to convey similar messages. Angels are sometimes described as stars. Some of God's angels rebelled against him. Their leader, Lucifer, known as the morning star, was cast down from heaven to earth and later associated with the figure of the devil, or Satan. These fallen angels are described as spirits opposing humanity's connection with the Creator. Recent AI translations reveal that these descriptions may reflect conceptual ideas of ongoing spiritual conflict rather than literal surveillance. The texts refer to systematic monitoring and influence by non-human entities within religious symbolism. The Vatican's concern is understandable, considering these ancient texts describe phenomena that some interpret as similar to modern reports of unexplained encounters. This raises questions about how these traditions intersect with human history and our understanding of the universe. These interpretations challenge conventional views and highlight why the Vatican carefully manages access to certain ancient texts, aiming to balance religious doctrine with broader cultural and historical considerations. If you have watched this far, it means you are really interested. Don't just stop at the like button, click hype. It only takes a few seconds, but it will help this video fly many times further. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.
Michelle Reyes was flying over New York